And today, CAMRA is publishing evidence that is presented to the Chancellor about the value of pubs as it demands action in November's budget. And those things specifically are a freeze in beer duty for the rest of this Parliament and an immediate £5,000 reduction in business rates for all pubs. Do you agree with us? Yay! Come on, yeah. Let's come on! Yes, put your hands up if you agree with us. You can play your part, and you can do that today. Go and visit our campaign stand in the foyer. Pick up one of these cards, or pick up one of these cards in the hall today, and post it in one of these ballot boxes that Ben and Emily have here. It takes just 2 minutes to fill in one of those cards, and we, CAMRA, will post it for you, and you'll help join that crucial fight to keep our pubs afloat. Let's send the Chancellor a message he really can't ignore. I'd now like to hand over to Sean from Dillon's, who is going to tell you a little bit more about St Albans Pubs, Save St Albans Pubs campaign, and what you can do to help him.
Hello everyone. Thank you for everyone who's turning up who wouldn't normally turn up at 3:15 to a beer festival. As you know, we've launched a campaign in St Albans specifically because our average increase per pub is about 70% on the previous year. So we're all facing a pretty big hike on business rates. We run the Boot pub in town, and our rates are going up 280%, which is equivalent to £38,000 a year. That means we need to sell an extra 22,000 pints a year, or 60 a day. So with that in mind, if everyone would like to go to the Boot after, that would be great. So it's an unaffordable, it's called a business rate. We believe it's a tax, and it's a tax directly on pub income, which is different to other forms of business rates. They've got a new formula, which means that 11% of drink is taxed at full turnover and 4% of food. So it really does target pubs that are more traditional or wet-led. For example, the Boot is 90% wet-led. It isn't attacking our local traditional pubs, and we believe that it's fundamentally wrong. We've had a lot of support over the last year, especially from Daisy Cooper, our Lib Dem MP-to-be, and Anne Main, in fairness, has been extremely supportive, as well as Kerry Pollard. So it's a cross-party help that we've got here. All the pub landlords have got together. We've come up with Save Your Local, which is primarily kind of aimed at St Albans Pubs, but we're today launching our new petition at 5 o'clock, which will be online, and that is for any pub in England that's had a crazy increase over 10%, or anyone that supports it, to sign for an urgent review at the autumn statement. So we've put this very, very expensive thing together. Which is why I'm so hot, because I've been running around doing it. So we are calling on the Chancellor of the Exchequer 4 things. We want an immediate freeze on current business rates at the November budget 2017, to give the government time to have an urgent fundamental review of the whole business rate system. It is completely unfair towards small businesses, and it's biased towards large business. We shouldn't be having discounts going to Amazon and rates increases going to small business. We also believe that public houses require a new formula on the way their rates are calculated. It's got to be fair to all pub models, whether you're free of tie, part-tied, a managed house, tenanted. There's so many different types, you can't have one formula. So we believe that a new formula needs to be created. Number 3 is a special consideration to pubs and small business operations to encourage small business growth paid for by higher rates on larger businesses. That's quite one in the air, but it's something that we think we should aim for, because small business is the driver of our economy. And the 4th is a cap on the percentage increase that can be made on rateable value on each 5-year period to avoid sending small businesses over the cliff edge, which is what's happened to, well, may happen to us if we don't get this through. just to say that we need to pay £38,000 more a year is easy for the government to say that. They'll then say, well, it's okay because we've given you £450 million of relief, but they've given us £1,000 per pub relief, which they've put up by 38,000, and in fact the boot doesn't even qualify for that because we're over the £100,000 rates. So we didn't even get that. But there's a lot of pubs in England that need your support, so if you would like to, we have these little flyers so you can stick them up at home. Please sign the Camera Keep Pubs Afloat campaign. We're working in cooperation with them. And at 5 o'clock today, if you go to our website, which is Save St A Pubs, or go to the Save St A Pubs Facebook or Twitter, we're releasing our new petition, which covers these 4 points. We really hope that you all get behind it, so we need to send a message across the country to the Chancellor that this is completely ridiculous, and if he doesn't sort it out by freezing rates now, we're all in trouble.
I'm at the St Albans Beer and Cider Festival today to support the relaunch of the Save St Albans Pubs campaign. It cannot be right that the business rates for Amazon's 9 warehouses is going down by 140,000, whilst the business rates for many of the St Albans pubs are going up. I think it's desperately unfair. If you do too, please sign their petition. It's www.savesantapubs.org.